Hey, what's going on, everybody? Trying to do a new setup and everything like that. I'm not trying like that, but the car's just easy with the kids and everything. And just wanted to put up a recording. I got a banger today, man. This one, the whole weekend, man, the thoughts go through my head, and kind of has a story about, how broken the system is, and it's going to be time when I transitioned and was at a halfway house. And just before we get into the story, explaining real quick, a halfway house is exactly what it sounds like. You're halfway between being locked up and you're halfway to being free. You're like in a controlled environment around a bunch of people from prison, some people that haven't gone to prison, people that have to actually be there because they don't got nowhere to go, and on parole. You're with tons and tons of groups of different people, and it basically is like the last stop until you go to prison, or like I said before, if you got nowhere to go, well, you'll have somewhere where you can get food, you have a bed, and get some really messed up stuff happens there, man. So the story goes on to real stuff, I wouldn't really call it a murder. Dude died, and I feel really guilty about it, man. I talked about it in an earlier video, and I just feel like putting a video on its own really does it justice, man. And the very craziest stuff, man, why you don't want to get locked up, man. What stuff you can be forced with and you have to deal with, and you only have yourself. So I was at Arapahoe County Corrections, so a halfway house. And like I said, you would get just a mix of a ton of different personalities, Community corrections was a very, very, but it's pretty crazy. Let's just say it's very corrupt. And if you know how to get something, you can get it done, And I'm not saying any names, but let's just say that later down the line, people that would be your case managers and people that would allow you to leave and passes and stuff, you could kind of have them under payroll. It's kind of messed up to say, but it's the truth, And this one day, right, I was at the halfway house. I was coming back and forth, and all I did at that time, I just worked, man. I was just leaving, didn't want to be there. All you had was like a little DVD player, some snacks, around a bunch of men. You don't want to be there, man. And so I'm just working all the time. I'm leaving back and forth, they had visiting times that you would sit around this upstairs with just a ton of tables that you could sit, and you couldn't even hold your loved ones or anything like that. They had to sit across from you. And anyways, during this visiting time, right, I come in from work, I'm just chilling. And you would have a front desk you need to check into and everything like that, and go through like pat downs and searches and everything like that. If you had a cell phone, here we weren't allowed to have cell phones or anything like that. So I come in, I get pat down, my pat down, I got searched, all that good stuff. And I see a bunch of people, doing their visits. And then out of nowhere, this guy I've never seen before. And the reason why I've never would see him before was that a halfway house was such a quick revolving door. People going back to the joint, people being approved to live on their own. There was just a lot of people that would come and go, And me, I'm just trying to get my time done, and kill my number and go. You know what I mean? Get my time sentence. I'm good. So I'm standing there. This is all a true story, man. Crazy. This dude walks out and just smacks a girl, right? Literally hits her. Bah! Smacks her across the face. Out of nowhere, dude. And then after he hits her, just walks back into the room, right? And I'm like looking there like, what the you know what I mean? And dude, a lot of bad things happen to dude, right? But at the moment, all of us, we're not trying to get regressed or sent back to the joint. You know what I mean? Like, this isn't something you can handle internally, you know what I mean? You have people literally sitting at the front desk, see dude, you know what I mean? And if you act on dude, no matter what, you're getting regress. You already know they're calling the cops. They're coming to get him. You know what I mean? Just hang back, like, dude, crazy, weirdest stuff ever, right? This had no, I mean, it was just crazy, right? You would think, dude had beef with homeboy or maybe girl, right? Whatever. Weirdest thing, man. I'm in shock. I'm like taken back. I'm like, what the, you know what I mean? And then they call the cops. They're like, hey, cops are used to coming to halfway houses. You're dealing with convicts and felons. You know what I mean? Dude comes out again, hits another girl. I swear to God. So they were just like, when he went into the room, they were like, everyone just sit down, wait, the cops are coming. You know what I mean? Like, just wait. Because I don't know if they had, witnesses or whatever. The second time dude came out, hit dude's girl, dude went off, started teeing the dude. Bop, 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 bop. Messing this dude up, right? And still just kicking back. Dude's getting whooped, right? But he's into this like lost mind thought, right? You would see him and you just thought he was a crazy person. You know what I mean? You're just like, dude's freaking weird. But, after the situation happened, I talked to people and he was good. Explain how he got there, man. I bet y'all can guess it. So, after dude comes out, hits dude start teeing off. They call everyone come out of the rooms. They're trying to trap the dude in like a room, let the cops come. Ain't no one trying to get regress. Dude keeps coming out of the room, man. And if a person tries to approach him, he swings. So dudes are literally beating the shit out of this dude. Bad, bro. And I don't even know how he was walking when the cops came, right? I mean, he would come out of this room, and the worst one, right? He came out of this room, and I was next to this blood dude. Holler to that dude. That dude was tight as shit, man. He had a good connect from Radio Shack, getting some cool stuff. Not gonna say anything more, but he was good, man. But the issue with jail and prison, man, is it's very alpha dominant environment. And if someone tests you and you don't stand up, you're getting your whole time you're seen as a punk. So you have to act. You know what I mean? Regardless if the cops are coming, you get disrespected in front of everybody, you have to react. So this dude, solid dude, big, he was a blood, like, I would not, like, if I had to, but I'd dude could throw hands good, man. Got this dude on the freaking, the wall, man, and just bam, bam, dude fell. So he's literally like you're getting like to punt a football, like punting his head, like beating it into the wall, dude. And I'm just like, oh my God, bro, like what the, like dude needs to stay down, dude. Like I feel messed up because I was joking about dude, like, like saying dude had it coming and stuff. He put his hands on a couple females in front of people. We weren't standing for that, but when we found out later, and so after dude is punting his head in his wall, man, the dude's like still getting up, dude. And people now are just trying to like, don't know what's wrong with this guy. Cops are about here, right? This dude's swinging at everybody. He's literally getting beat into the point he should be in a coma, but somehow he's getting up. He's just going on straight up like nobody's in there, cuckoo on the cuckoo clock, like no one's there, and just moving and swinging on everybody, just getting whooped. And we're looking behind him, and he's just, after he gets beat so bad, he moves into another room, and they close the door, and you see trails of blood dripping from this dude, man. And he's just getting beat to death. And it's crazy, dude. It's still so long away, man. It breaks my heart, dude. It literally scares me, man. And the big message is not to do drugs, which we all know that, right? But the second message is, man, is you ever been out there and took a little too many pills, drank a little too much. Your homeboys are there, they get you, you know what I mean? Like, they're going to put you down, make sure nothing bad happens. When you get locked up or something like that, you do a little too much, no one's got your back. And this is what exactly happened. And dude was overdosing, and these pills just had a horrible effect. They knew dude wasn't like this. But they were scared of the consequences of, addressing it and coming forward, that they're going to go back to the joint, right? That they didn't want to say anything. So we're just sitting here thinking, dude's crazy. Like, they just brought someone from prison that's a nutcase, and which was far from the truth, man. Dude had a family. His family mourned his loss so bad, man. Cops swept it under the rug. It was sad. So after dude, literally gets beat by this blood dude, the cops show up. So now people are just, trying to lead him to the cops, right? And this is where it was nuts, bro. Dude sees, so the wall he was getting beat into is like a circle, right? So you go around that circle and the exit way. And like I said, in the front, you'd have to get checked in, right? And all that stuff. So there's an entrance. So as cops start coming in, and we lead dude into, the cops, you know what I mean? And dude just rushes at him. And the cops don't know what to do. So then the cops just start fighting. They just start fighting. I hear tasers. Dude's screaming, right? Dude's last scream was for his mom, bro. He was screaming for his mom, dude. But he just kept fighting. He didn't know. This man was literally beat by like four or five people that he came at, and was swinging, hit dude's girl, and people were just like, defending themselves, I guess, No one knew what was going on, Cops are just beating him in the corner way. And we're hearing him just scream. Scream, man. Scream. And they actually had me put on a hazmat suit and clean up dude's blood in the front. And I had no idea that someone that you saw, gets beat to death. You know what I mean? And the cops just pretty much put the cherry on top. So I remember those screams till today. You know what I mean? Screaming for his mom. Screaming for his mom at the doorway. Their famous words of "stop resisting." They were not trained. At least these guys were not trained from like someone that have like lost their mind, because dude would budge and they just kept beating dude, and then beat him into a coma. So what happened was, when at that stage, when they beat him into a coma, they still had him in handcuffs, drug him in, took him to the hospital. We're kind of all talking shit. You know what I mean? Dude went at a ton of people, didn't know the story, and come to find out, so in prison, you don't have a lot of access to things, right? So what people would do, they would get these pills that if you took like 20 or 30 of them, right? Which is crazy. You shouldn't take that many of medications, but people would do this, right? Just to get a feeling. And he did this, right? But the difference is, he was kind of on the outside, so he had more access to way stronger medications than, of course, in prison. So he had like 20 or 30 of these pills, and I guess he's done this before. And they just made him go crazy. Like, when he took them, he like overdosed, and these pills weren't like ones that like knocked him out and go to sleep. They just made him lose his mind. He was like hallucinating and rushing at everybody. And what we should have done is literally like tie dude up, and then maybe they could have knocked dude out, pump that stuff out of his stomach. But no one knew what was going on. So another thing, man, if you go in, just remember, no one's your friend, man. I still hear those freaking screams, man. Anytime I think about it, I feel horrible, dude. We could have done something differently. And it just goes to show, man, like I said, don't get locked up. These stories are for real, man. And it's crazy. The craziest stuff you will ever go through is in here. But yeah, so what ended up happening, so after dude was in a coma, I was cool with some of the couple dudes. So I was like, what happened, dude? And dude was like, I first had, prison 101, checking up, and that's how I heard the story back from the pills. I didn't tell, the people that I was asking, dude, what happened to dude? And boom, The 5 people that beat on dude, they all got sent back quick, right? That day, like crazy, right? I was like I said, across from me was this blood dude. He's gone, you know? So it was like they were trying to place the blame on what these guys did and not what the cops did at the end. So then homicide shows up. Fucking dude's wearing, you know, like nice dude, like, you know, want to question everybody, get the surveillance tapes. And dude comes up and said, yeah, dude died. And they're going to try to sue the cops. Cops killed him. But when he went to that room and was fighting back, cops weren't really trained and reacted. I kept hearing the tasers shocking him screaming. But that's what's crazy. Like they put this do not resist, but they're literally hurting on you and your body has no way. It just reacts. But yeah, all true story, man. It breaks my heart to think back to it. And like I said, man, another one of these crazy stories. Hope y'all having a good. More pressure for you, man. And I'm sorry things didn't go how it should have.